It's the grandson of Right Thought. So what if Christ came to me, revealed himself to me and delivered me from my bondage, saved me, brought me back into right standing with the Father, making me one with himself through a covenant relationship of his own blood. And I rejoiced and I was happy, safe, free, liberated, enjoying my liberation, the new law of liberty I have found myself in, under the banner of truth and love, under the yoke of Yahusha, who has now become my husband, spiritual, where there is no male and female in the kingdom of heaven. So this is spiritual yoke. So now I've been told by him to go forth and tell everybody that I know, everybody that I see about him, so that they can be free, they can be liberated as well. But I don't do it. I don't go forth and I don't tell anybody about Yahusha. I don't tell anybody about his saving grace. I don't tell anybody about anything, his sacrifice, anything that he done for me. Even though I was told to do it, I didn't do it. The question would be, why didn't I? Right? If I stood before Abba Yah, he would say, well, why didn't you tell anybody? What would be my reasons? And what reasons could I give that were sufficient reasons? When I'm asked that question, why didn't you tell? Why didn't you spread the good news? Why didn't you go forth and tell others? What would be my reasons? What could I say? Now, if the commandments that I am to keep are to love Abba Yah with all my heart, my soul, my might, my strength, everything in me, love my neighbor as myself, then am I loving my neighbor as myself if I don't tell them? That means I'm viewing them as something other than myself if I don't tell them, because I know what it did for me. It liberated me, set me free. So if I love my neighbor as myself, to keep that second commandment, to treat others the way I would love to be treated, would I tell them? If I knew what it was like to be desolate outside of the house, outside of this comfort I found myself in, if I know what it feels like to be on the other side of it, and I see my brother or my sister outside suffering those same things that I had experienced, I know what it feels like. Would I not want to extend my hand to them and to say, hey, I know someone who can help you? What would stop me from doing that? Let's search our hearts today to understand this. What would hinder me from doing that? Would it be my judgment of that other person? Am I not viewing them as if they're me? Because if I was the one that was desolate and somebody came to me and said, hey, I know somebody that can help you. Change this. Be freed from this. That's what I would want. Versus that same person that had that opportunity, they just walked right past me. They didn't even acknowledge me. Because that's what I did when I saw them. So I was left in that state of desolation, without hope, without help. Why do we hinder the kingdom, the growth of it, where there is no male or female? There is no marriage and given in marriage in the kingdom of heaven. But why do we close the gate? To liberation, because that is liberation. No male, no female, no marriage, no given in marriage. That's called liberation, freedom, freedom of all bonds. See, he didn't come to break, Yahushua did not come to break some bonds, a few bonds. He came to break all bonds, guys, that hold us. in our miseries, in our fears of lack. See, because when we don't tell somebody about the saving grace, it's because we feel like it's going to be taken from us. We're going to have to share it, or it will diminish in us. It will diminish on our side if someone else shares in it. But not a living spring of water. It never diminishes. No matter how many drink from it, it never lacks. It never dwindles. It never decreases. This is why all can come to Yahusha. That's why all can come under that hedge of protection that he's offering you. Because he's a living spring. He's a source of life. When you're a source of life, then you can't be depleted. You can't lack. So then all can come unto you and be filled. Who are you to hinder that gate, to block it to the kingdom? Well, I have all this wisdom and this knowledge, so hell with it. If nobody else knows, well, that's on them. Fuck it. That's not what we were instructed to do. That's not what Yahusha did. And I'm only talking to those who follow Yahusha, if you can see. That's the only name I speak about. I don't speak under anyone else's name. I'm always pointing to that name, Yahusha. So those are the only people I'm interested in talking to. The lost sheep. So those are the ones that have to realize these truths that I'm speaking about. The spiritual minded, not the carnal minded. If you're carnal, you're not going to understand what I'm saying. I'm going to keep on saying it to y'all. You can't grasp it. You just can't grasp it. Watch this. Yahusha has a bride called the church, which we are all members of that body. It's called the body of Christ. That's his bride. How many members is it in that body? A whole lot of them. A whole lot of them. And matter of fact, we know at least 144,000 who made their garments white in the blood of the Lamb. So there's a lot of members to this body, and ain't none of them jealous of each other because they so loved. They're so filled. Their cup runneth over. They are not looking to the right or to the left, feeling any type of jealousy, because there is no jealousy in the kingdom of heaven. There is no envy. There is no strife. There's no hatred. There's no backbiting. There's freedom, liberation. See, because when you create something, you don't set it free until it's right thinking, guys, until it becomes righteous. Then you set it free because it won't error once it becomes righteous. That's easy to understand. That's what Abba was doing with Israel. He took us, put us under Torah at first, gave us the written word and the law to instruct us like a schoolmaster. Okay, don't do this, my child. Don't do that. That's what you do when your child's little. Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Some of that shit they don't even know what it is yet. But as they lived, they found out, usually by erring in it and doing it. Oh shit, that's what that is. Yep, you see why I said don't do it? Yep, I do see now. Then the Spirit came. Our conscience, to lift our conscience so that we are aware on the spot when we're in the moment. Wait a minute, I shouldn't do that. That's not right. I shouldn't do that. Our moral compass that he gave us within, the Spirit who's going to guide us in all truth. You see? To bring us to maturity as a people so that we could rule in righteousness and be free. That's the righteous kingdom. That's the kingdom of heaven. Righteousness, because why? You've grown, you've been lifted, you've been elevated now in all truth, the fullness of it. Now you can be free. But you can't be free if you still got envy in your heart, you still got jealousy, you still got malice, all the fruits of the flesh. Nope. You got to have fruit of the Spirit. You want to be in the kingdom of heaven. They already asked Yahusha these things. Well, if a woman had 7 husbands on earth, when she comes back in the resurrection, who's going to be her husband? Which one of those 7 men? Yahusha says, y'all don't know. Y'all error in the word, not knowing it. He says there is no giving in marriage in heaven. They are all one. That's what we understand when we come to the kingdom of heaven. We're one. So it's not one person getting something I didn't get and all this other shit. No, we're one person. Everyone is mutually beneficial. We're all getting all of what we need together as one. as a complete family, a symbiotic unit that gives life to each and every part of it. But those who want to hinder other people's growth, you won't be able to be existing in the garden. You'll be uprooted and pulled out. And that's just what it is. You're hindering the spirit from doing its work, which is to bring us all into one. Now, if that's not what it is, then you made Yahushua a liar, because that's what he prayed for, that we would all be one. Y'all not understanding that, where it said, where Yahushua said, I and the Father are one, and it said the Jews took up stones to stone him. So when he said that, they immediately grabbed stones to kill him. Why? He says, why y'all going to stone me? For the good works I did? Which one? They said, it's not for none of your good works you did. It's because you being a man, making yourself one with God. You being a man, called yourself God. That's why we're going to kill you. And he says, does it not say in your own law that ye are gods? And you about to stone me for saying who the Son of God, who's saying that I am one with God? Y'all don't understand nothing spiritual. You too busy looking carnally without cleaning out your own closet with all the skeletons and shit hanging in there. Like I said, the hypocrisy is real out here. It's real. The blind eye people are turning to their own shit is astounding. Astounding, while shooting out lasers at other people's little specks that they have. A little speck here, a little speck here. Even if it ain't no speck, it could be pristine. They're still throwing lasers and darts, not knowing the breastplate of righteousness is going to bounce that shit right down to the ground. But they got all kind of ghouls and shit behind the curtain and shit. You lift up they sheet to the bed, it's a damn Monsters Inc. hiding up under that shit. You open up the door to their closet, they got a damn Goonie living in that motherfucker. Look like Beetlejuice living back there. You're like, what the fuck? Clean your own damn house up. You're too busy trying to cover up all your shit. Little moles hopping up all out of there. You got to play whack-a-mole with them. Just, look, you ain't got to play whack-a-mole if you just get rid of the moles. Instead of just trying to whack them. Just let them get on out of there. Just purge them on out of there. Make the environment where it's not livable for them, and then they'll leave. Nope. And the only way you can make it your vessel a place where wickedness can't live is to come into truth, or as we say, light. And then all the dark shit got to scatter. So let's just keep it real today, y'all. If you're not able to walk in the light, it's because you're still hiding things. See? You see that? So you're not able to really come out in the light. So you will hurl darts and shit at people who do walk in the light because you're envious of them. That's nature. That's just the way it is. Ask Cain. Ask Cain if you don't believe what I'm saying. Abel living right in the light, living righteous as hell, doing everything he's supposed to do. Cain's half-ass doing it, and he gets mad at Abel for it. Not himself. Say, hey man, you know what? I'm not doing right. Let me correct my shit. Instead of doing that, he kills Abel. Do y'all understand that? So that means that there are people on the earth, children of Cain, who are haters because Cain means hater. Look it up your damn self in the Strong's if you don't believe me. So his children are haters. That's what they are. So instead of dealing with their own shit and correcting themselves, they rather throw darts and try to kill you instead and stump out the light so it don't shine on all their wickedness. And that's how simple this shit really is. So you got to decide what family you from by your actions, by what fruit you bearing. Instead of looking at all the other trees, trying to see what fruit they bear, look at your own damn tree. So see all the fruit consumed with worms on your shit. All the barren ass branches on your damn tree. Because guess what? You can't get a good tree can't bear bad fruit. Nor can a bad tree bear good fruit. So if you're hurling darts at somebody saying, well, yeah, most of that's good, but that's bad. It can't be. It's all bad if it's a bad tree. It's just an illusion that it's good. If the root is all destroyed in there with disease, then how can the fruit growing on the branch be good, even though it looks good? You search the intents of it. You search the root of the matter and you'll find the truth of it. And then you let other people dance, tap dance all around this shit, all the fuck they want till they fall off the cliff. And then that is just their fault, not yours. Silouan Misraela.